Okay, so I'm here to introduce a new initiative for the library learning commons. And the initiative is Meet the World with Google Hangout. So first, let me explain what is Hangout. Um, so it's basically a mystery hangout. What we do is in our class, the different classes, they invite another classroom for discussion or collaboration, like, for example, a book club, or to share results, ideas, techniques, debate, or it could involve bringing in an expert guest speaker, but they never have to leave home. And especially now, in the time of COVID, um, online learning is so much more important. It can also involve a virtual field trip. And so you can, the class could be talking to other educators or host a meeting of up to, actually, the number right now is much more than 10 um, because of the update. So the idea with the mystery hangout is to connect two classrooms that are unaware of where the other is. So what we do is, we the teacher will, or it does not pick a familiar teacher location. Example, um, teacher wearing school country identifying shirt. So it's not so easy to guess. So what classes are doing is they're taking turns asking yes or no questions that will pinpoint location, while classes using Google Maps to try and figure out where they are. Example, are you in North America? Are you in Canada? How do you find connections? There are different ways, like what teachers will be doing is like using Twitter, for example, hashtag mystery hangout, or just tweet out and request. Let me go through guest speakers or virtual field trips. So there's many historical sites, museums, etc., that are willing to connect with a class via Google Hangout. And so there's many opportunities to visit so many different, great locations virtually. So have a friend or relative, a class might be doing that on vacation, that is willing to hang out, do a Google Hangout. And want a guest speaker, email, call, or use social media to contact them to see if they are willing to do a Google Hangout. So that's what um, teachers will be doing. And from my experience, that I find that many authors are willing to do that, to be willing to be guest speakers. And actually, what happens is the government even has a program where they provide funding for this. And it's important when the teachers are doing that, and they're aware of time zone differences. So let's talk about how teachers will be applying this in the classroom. There's like one example is global read aloud. And that involves, other classes around the world, author visits. It could be involving peer mentoring, like receive guidance and advice from more experienced classes. And so, the business classes could be doing that, related to entrepreneurship, author connections, and it's not that difficult. Many times, it's just a matter of, the classroom teacher asking to arrange author connections. And there are also virtual guest speakers, so uh, custom to, I mean, classes. it depends on, you know, what they're covering in the curriculum and so what they want to reach. But there are so many opportunities to have guest speakers. So whether the topic science or history, it could be, you know, like government officials too. Could be the mayor, councillor, member of parliament, MPP. Could be artists and museums. So these are just number of possible guest speakers with this initiative. Um, Now, it can also be done to this initiative for pen pals, and we're talking, of course, virtual, so it's a hangout pals, and so classes can share work on an ongoing basis. So what are some examples of online educational organizations that use hangouts? There's the National Geographic Explorer Classroom, Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. That's another educational organization. I mentioned earlier that there is actually an organization called Global Read Aloud. And this is an excellent educational organization, the Digital Human Library. And in with this case, there is actually on this website, there's actually virtual tours, which is a direction that this organizations is has been emphasizing lately. And for elementary, there's a kid's guide to Canada, but there are many others. So 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 this is just instructions how to start a Hangout, and so it's not that difficult, and especially, you know, with the coronavirus situation, there has been a lot of practice, and I'd really like to thank Ramona and Heidi for this great resource. I've and I attended the Ontario Teacher Federation um, conference 2 years ago, and attended this amazing workshop. And I like to give a shout out to them for, you know, basically providing such an excellent resource during this conference. Okay, so make sure if you have any questions, you know, just let me know.